Your kids don't want your stuff. I'm sorry, I know that's sad and sometimes hurtful, but they don't want it. Stay tuned. Hi, and welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for being here today. I did a video a little over 2 months ago on downsizing, decluttering, moving, things like that. And I mentioned in that video that your kids don't want your stuff and we shouldn't burden them with it. Well, I really wanted to expand on that because it goes so much deeper and there's so much more to think about and to consider. We tend to hold on to things. Maybe it's more people in the generation that I'm in or older. But you hold on to things because things were different years ago. You know, you worked hard for your money, you saved up, you bought a nice piece of furniture, and that was your furniture for life. I mean, that was it. You put a lot of money into it, you loved it, and you weren't going to change it. Today, it's a completely different world. The young people don't think like that. They buy more inexpensive or cheap furniture. They're not looking for quality and stuff that's going to last for 40 or 50 years because there's no way they want it for that many years. They go for the trendy things and what's in, and with all the stuff that comes out on social media, new paint colors, new colors to put in your home, new styles of furniture. You can find just about anything you want. They want to change it up. So they don't want that old, heavy, dark furniture. And the same with other things that we have, like our lamps, our end tables, our decor, our different artwork or pictures and decorations and everything that we just love. We bought them because we loved them. That didn't mean they loved them. They didn't pick them out. And I'm telling you, they don't want your stuff. When we had an auctioneer come in to my brother-in-law's house to look at everything after my sister passed away, and she had some good furniture, big pieces, antique pieces, lamps, tables, everything. They would not take the furniture because they said they can't sell it. And you know, these auctioneers, they auction things off and then they get a percentage and you get a percentage. They can't even get rid of it. No one bids on it. Nobody wants that stuff. So it's just pointless to hang on to it or expect that somebody's going to want it because unfortunately it just doesn't work that way today. There's too many choices and variety. The younger people of today, like our kids' ages, they're more into experiences. They want to spend their money, you know, taking vacations and having experiences with their kids and going to Disneyland and all that stuff. They don't put their money into furniture because they're going to change it up every couple years anyhow. The reason I'm talking about this is whether you have any intention of moving or not, eventually we're all going to move someday. Well, I can't say we're all. Let's just say a good many of us. Because we could end up either in a nursing home or assisted living or having to move in with one of our children or whatever. So then we or our kids are faced with this whole house full of stuff. You can't take it with you to the nursing home. Assisted living is a very small place. I mean, you don't get like a 2-bedroom living room and all that. No, they're small. And if you move in with your kids, you'll have your room, your bedroom, but that's pretty much it because their house is already furnished. So this stuff needs to be thought about now in preparation for later on in life. You could have no intentions of moving at all, but you need to start downsizing somewhat. Now, I'm not a minimalist at all. I'm not saying just live with the bare necessities. I like nice things. I like my decorations, but let me tell you, I have less than half of what I used to have because I got rid of it. You know, all that stuff, just, I don't know if it's an age thing or maybe it's just me, but all of a sudden it just like gets on your nerves and you don't want to look at it anymore. You don't want to have to clean it. You don't want to put that time into it. You're ready for more open spaces, things to be lighter in your house and more simplified. At least that's how it works for me. And when you have all that stuff around, things that you love, and they were workable for you for many years, as we get older, we need to make some sort of transition. You know, more stuff means more housework. It takes longer to clean and dust and take care of all that stuff, to maintain it. And you may not want to spend your time that way, or you may not have the strength, the energy, the stamina to keep up with it like you once did. Also, it can become a safety hazard. I mean, you know, we can trip over our own furniture, and especially if you are prone to falling, or maybe you're using a walker or a cane or a wheelchair, it's kind of hard to get around in your own home when you have all that stuff in the way. It just isn't feasible to live like that, to be able to get from room to room and where you need to go in your home. But what I really wanted to focus on in this video is about the fact that your kids don't want your stuff. Hanging on to it for them is not a wise decision. And if you ask them, I think they would tell you that, because they would be honest enough to tell you they're not going to want it. And of course, we all have too much stuff that we enjoy. Could be makeup, lipsticks, jewelry, clothing. You know, we love our clothing. But eventually, somebody is going to have to go through all that. Somebody is going to have to get rid of all of it. And where do you think it's going to end up? I don't think you'd even want to think about where it's going to end up because it meant so much to you. It's things you enjoyed. I mean, we need to enjoy our lives and enjoy what we do and the things that we have. But we do have excess, and I think most people would agree with that. As far as like jewelry is concerned, I mean, some people have tons of jewelry, from necklaces, earrings, bracelets, everything that they've had for years and they love. And of course, keep some of it and keep wearing it. But if you have an abundance of it and you know that your granddaughter or your daughters, daughter-in-laws, neighbors or friends love a certain thing that you have, and you have so much in abundance, let them have it now and watch how much they enjoy it. It'll bring you just as much joy as it does them. I want my life to be comfortable. And I want my home to be where if I fell over and 911 had to come in and take me to the emergency room, and some company came and stayed at the house because they're visiting me in the hospital, I want them to be able to come in and see a nice home and be able to find anything they may need while they're here. I'll tell you where I fall real short in this area, and that is my closet. Oh my gosh, I know I've talked about this. I try and try to pare down, to purge, to get rid of things. And I have the hardest time. I always hang on to things thinking, well, gee, I haven't worn this in years, but it's really cute. Why get rid of this? I think I'll wear it. And 9 times out of 10, I don't. So I am really making an effort to do something about my closet and get rid of things. I bet I have 30 pair of shorts at a minimum. Now, granted, I wear shorts all day, every day, except in January or February. But you don't need that many pair of shorts. We have washers and dryers, so we can do the laundry and re-wear the shorts. But I have a lot of them. And other things. I have purses, not a whole lot of purses, but they mean something to me, mainly because it's one that my mother got me or it used to belong to her. So I like them. I want them. But I never change out my purse. I mean, once a year, I might go from more of a wintry looking purse to a summer purse. I don't change my purses when I go out every day or depending on what I'm wearing so that it goes with my outfit. I just don't. Some people do, but I don't. So I need to learn to let go of things like that. The kids today seem to get what they want. When they decide they want something, they just go and get it. You know, we didn't used to do that. We thought about it and we saved for years until we got what we wanted. It's just a different world now. And they do change things up a lot. So to think or expect that they're going to want our stuff, to me, just isn't being very realistic. And as I mentioned before in that previous video, think about if something happened to you, the pain, the agony, the sadness your kids will go through just knowing that they lost their mother or their father, and then to have to go in and go through all your stuff and deal with all that and cleaning out that whole house when they're grieving, plus they have families of their own. They have to go to their kids' school activities and functions and social life and everything. It's hard. I mean, it is very hard. If you've ever had to do that, you know what I'm talking about. It's a physical and an emotional burden. And I don't think any of us want that for our children. So I guess my main message in this video is don't go and get rid of everything you own and strip your house down and things like that, because then you wouldn't enjoy your life. You have to be comfortable in your own home and your surroundings. But there are probably some things in your home that you could do without, that you don't really care for, you don't really need or want. Maybe just start getting rid of a few things. And as far as your personal items, the things that are near and dear to you, use them every day. Enjoy them. But maybe you have way too much and you could let go of a couple things, just slowly, little by little. Even if you're unsure, maybe get a box or a couple of those plastic storage containers and put some of your stuff in there and label it. And if you want to wear something out of that box, if it's clothing or if it's jewelry, you want to pick something out, go ahead. If not, leave it in there. At least it's organized and people can find it and it's contained and it's not all over the house. And if after a year or 6 months you realize, I've never even opened these boxes or these containers, so you didn't miss it, you forgot you even had it, then it'll be easier to let it go. I hope this video is helpful, or at least plants a seed so that we all can start thinking about these things, because we have to. No matter what, our time will come to an end. It may not be for 20 years. It depends on your age, or you could only be 70 and then get hit with a terrible disease where your life is cut short. But maybe it's time to start planning some things like this. Make life easier for yourself and definitely easier for your family and children who will have to go through all this if and when you're not around. I hope this video didn't bring anybody down. It's really meant to lift you up, to help you to see these things, to realize you can still have your beautiful home with your beautiful things that you treasure and mean so much to you. But certainly there are some things you can start maybe discarding or giving away to someone else and just make your life a little bit easier. Now, I'm going to leave you with an inside beauty tip. My inside beauty tip today comes from Jeremiah 1:5. Before I made you in your mother's womb, I chose you. Did you ever think that you were God's signature? I mean, you're walking around with God's signature all over you from head to toe. He created you. We're not just a body with hair and skin and a heart and blood and everything else. We are God's handiwork. We are His work of art. His signature is all over our lives. And it shows in our behavior, how we treat people, how compassionate we are, how kind we are to others. When you really think about it, what do you want to portray when you go out there in the world and meet other people, talk to other people, encounter other people? Wouldn't you want them to see God's signature on your life? I think that's something to really consider. And when you think about it that way, oh my, yes, that is what I want people to see. I want them to see that signature. I want them to know that I am walking with God in the best way I know how, that I make that effort each and every day, and I know you want the same thing. We are extremely blessed to have God's signature on our life from head to toe each and every day. I thank you so much for being here today. I truly do appreciate it. And until we meet again, this is the old girl signing out. See ya!